Hi, it's me, Haha, your reigning SPI Pride Queen, and I'm here to tell you that we are about to wig out Season 2. We wig out over different topics that we find interesting, and that we think you might find interesting as well, or helpful. Like last season, we covered mental health, depression, anxiety, self-image, and even bullying. You may notice Miss Wiggins is not here with us, and I'm going to continue that tradition here today with a special gift just for you, and it is present. You may be asking yourself, what is the present? Well, it's right now. It's this moment, and that is the only time you should be concerned with. As I was growing up, never had a concept, never even thought about time as a past, present, or future. I let my mind rule my life. I've always had a hard time with myself living in the past or thinking about the future. As someone who's always tried to fit in or be part of a certain type of group, I'd always look back on decisions I made and regret them, or look towards the future and think, what can I do to get what I want? I finally started to discover living in the present when I started reading a certain type of book, a book that is about mindfulness, about the self and the subconscious, the conscious mind, everything that we don't realize that's going on in our heads. And that's what this video is about. This video is to share my experience with you and kind of tell you a little bit about what the past, present, and future mean to me, but also to give you some facts about that. I've also listed some resources that I use to do my research down below in the link. It wasn't until I read The Power of Now that it really opened up my mind. The Power of Now is one of several books that I would recommend that will give you enlightenment and incitement on how to get out of your head. You don't even realize how much time you spend there. Literally, take 5 seconds and be quiet. What were you thinking about? Have you even made it this far to the video because your attention span has already gone back to the past or to the future? You got to be here. You got to be now. So stick with me, and we're going to get into it. To understand the present, you have to understand time. You have the past, the future, and the present. All of those make up the reality that we live in. You got to ask yourself, how much time do you spend in the past? Or how much time do you spend in the future? It's healthy to spend time in each one. However, too much time spent in one time zone or the other can lead to disaster. The best time to be present in is the now, the present. So let's start off in the past. We always tend to dwell on our past choices, and that is what the past is made of. Things that we have gone through, both as an individual and as a common group. And what I mean by that is, as an LGBTQ member, I've struggled through certain things that a straight man hasn't. Or, in the example of today, we have the Black Lives Matters movement. And although I've never suffered through their indifferences and their struggle, I can understand their common bond that they share. And I stand behind that. And I stand up for that. From choices to experiences that we've lived through. And we tend to live in the past. Unfortunately, our brain can change the past. So it can make a new past. Maybe you don't remember the exact restaurant where he broke up with you, but you remember what you were eating. And then so you make it up. The mind cannot be trusted. The past is the past, and that's where it should be left with regards to self-conscious mindfulness. There are 3 ways I recommend how to get out of the past. 1, forgive yourself. It's in the past, and nothing you do today will change it. Secondly, if you can, without hurting other people or opening old wounds, make amends with whomever you are having this negative thought about. Thirdly, is to be present. in the now. You're in the mind and you're thinking about the past and you're like, oh, why did I do that? Oh my gosh. Stop and smell the roses. That saying didn't come out of nowhere. You need to refocus, re energize, and just realize that you're here now in this moment and the past does not dictate who you are. So let's jump forward to the future. Now, the future is the least important time zone to concern yourself with. Don't get me wrong, it is important to make goals, it is important to have dreams, but ways you can realize that you're spending too much time in the future is if you have anxiety, if you have unease, if you're always worrying. Those are signs that you're spending too much time thinking about the future. So go ahead and pull yourself back in the now. Ways to combat all that future thinking is setting goals, a business plan, making a vision board, getting those things out of your head and out into the world so that they can manifest into what is your future. All right, y'all, it's time for that present. Now, this moment is the most powerful moment you will ever possess. It is the power to take action, the power to choose, the power to take non action. It is literally the only thing that matters. Pay attention, be present. Living in this space is the ultimate goal. Here are some books that I've read that I would love to recommend to you. The Power of Now, which I mentioned earlier. The Alchemist, which is a novel, teaches you lessons in a story format, which is a little bit easier to understand for some people. I just finished a wonderful book called The Blue Flame. It talks about igniting your special blue flame, that special power that you want to share with the world that makes the world a better place. For me, I feel like it's drag. I feel like it's dance. I feel like it's entertaining. Like it's making people laugh, being that happy happening. Ha ha! Another book I'd like to recommend would be The Untethered Soul. That talks about your subconscious mind and your subconscious soul, really, as our body is just a vessel for our consciousness. In closing, thank you so much for joining me today. This is my first video alone without my mom, Miss Wiggins, so I would love your feedback. I also want to know if you found something interesting, if you've read a book that helped you with your own mental health and your own mental awareness and being present. There's certain practices like yoga or meditation or things that I didn't mention. Let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe, and I look forward to next week. We'll cover a brand new topic. Until then, hi!